Okay, so at least my YouTube search results for video reviews of this film were, well, let's just say it wasn't the demographic that I wanted to hear from, hence this video that you're seeing today. Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven. Welcome back to my channel. This is a series, I guess I started. It's only a 2-video series right now of foreign horror you may have missed. Born of my want to expand my horror watching to more foreign horror films. Not that I was particularly bad at watching foreign horror films before. So many new horror releases that get pushed out in the United States, both in theaters and video on demand. I feel like lately new foreign horror has been a bit of a blind spot for me. So I wanted to talk about Piggy, which is directed by Carlotta Martinez Pereda and follows teen girl Sarah, who's viciously bullied for her weight. When she witnesses a stranger kidnap her tormentors, Sarah stays quiet as she's torn between revealing the truth or protecting the only person who has ever stood up for her. So this is based on a short horror film from the same director, starring the same person. But plot-wise, I really enjoyed this one. I like being thrown into an intense moral dilemma while watching movies. You know, the ones where there's no answer just handed to you at the end of the film. It's deliberately left open-ended for your own interpretation. And this film is one giant gray area of whether Sarah will or won't say anything to the police. And it's easy when you're watching this film as an adult to be like, well, you should just go straight to the police. But as a horribly tormented teenager, I can understand the crisis Sarah goes through in this movie. It is a very teen story, I would say. Like, as adults, we are watching this screaming at the screen for Sarah not to go to the serial killer. But when you're a teen and that first person notices you in that special way, it's like a magnetic feeling, like you're like obsessed with that person. Plus, if you spend any time on Spicy Book Talk, you will know that this idea of an actually bad person being the love interest it's a thing. All of that to say, I feel like Sarah being drawn to the killer is not that big of a stretch in the movie. There's also this really neat juxtaposition between masculine rage and feminine rage, where the killer's actions, at least initially, are almost seen as valiant, especially by Sarah, probably by the audience a little bit, where we see these bullies tormenting Sarah at the beginning of the movie really viciously. It's more than just name calling. And in your head, you're kind of like, well, this is fiction and those characters deserve it. We're almost cheering the killer for taking care of Sarah's tormentors. And in a weird twisted way, we're kind of hoping that they get together at the end. Next to Sarah's actions, which is obviously a bit more of an emotional response to let the killer go, even though she knows those girls are being kidnapped by him, is almost seen as more vicious. Like, when I was watching the movie, I'm like, that's fucking cold. I also really enjoyed the attention to detail in the camera work in this movie, particularly the framing of the shots. In the beginning of the film, everything is a lot tighter and shots last longer, so we're really feeling trapped and claustrophobic, like Sarah is, between the trauma and abuse she experiences from all aspects of her life. Like, she genuinely can't get away from it, and that's what the film is expressing. And then as the film progresses, Sarah starts taking more and more agency over the situation, and therefore the shots get wider, the camera starts moving with Sarah. And it's maybe a small thing, but it really put me in Sarah's shoes in a deeper way, beyond just relating to her because we both have the same body type and have been bullied for it. I'm going to mispronounce her name, and I do apologize, but Laura Galan, her performance as Sarah was also great. She doesn't say a lot in the movie towards the beginning, and it kind of mirrors the journey we take with the camera, where Sarah doesn't say as much in the beginning of the movie, and then she starts verbally expressing herself more as she begins to take agency over the situation again. It just adds another layer of putting us in Sarah's shoes, because without any inner dialogue from her or any verbal dialogue from her, we're left to just experience the choices she makes, and then therefore just kind of wondering what we would do in the same situation. And as a big girl, I do want to praise this movie for how they portrayed Sarah's body. While there is some juxtaposition between Sarah and pigs and animals in general in the movie, given the mean nickname given to her by her tormentors, her body isn't shown in a way that's making it feel like it's part of the horror. I feel like you guys might know what I mean by saying that. And to be honest, her body is even coveted by somebody in the film. Granted, the person coveting her body is a serial killer. It's not something you see a lot in media when it comes to bigger bodies. Overall, I thought this movie was really well done, and I definitely think it's worth your time if you haven't seen it already. And if it happens to be a foreign horror film you may have missed, I would definitely give it a shot. If you have any suggestions for foreign horror films that you think have been overlooked by the larger horror community, let me know in the comments and I may feature it in a future video. I hope you enjoyed this video though. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It does help me out. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a creepy peep today. I post 2 new videos every week, all horror, all the time. So I'll see you very soon with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.